Early on, before I was supposed to be drinking wine, I had red wine and I just fell in love with it. The nuance of it, how it went with food so beautifully. I wish I could be as eloquent as Virginia Madsen in the movie Sideways. She likes to think about the people working in the vineyard and how the weather was and how it changed the grapes when they were picked, and if they had been picked on a different day, would the wine be different? And it always is. Wine is a living thing, and that's what I love about it. I graduated from high school when I was 16, and I started a catering business when I was 19, and that's when I really kind of first discovered wine. I had a friend, and we decided we wanted to start a business, sort of a corporate gift buying service, and this was in the late 70s. And our first client hired us to present an anniversary gift to their friends. We decided to dress up as French maids and do a breakfast in bed and take a bottle of champagne, and which highly illegal, but we didn't know that at the time. For $35, I think it was, so you can imagine the quality of the champagne. We took a champagne breakfast, croissants and nibbles and fruit and such, and when we got there, it was their anniversary, but they had been fighting and were sleeping in separate rooms. So we woke them up and we got them into the same room, and we served them breakfast in bed. And that went over so well that they hired us to do that for their friends, and so pretty soon that was our business. We were wearing French-made costumes, delivering champagne breakfast in bed. It just sort of evolved. My husband, Brian Wise, who started Be Wise Vineyards, we were having a New Year's party. I wanted to sort of play a game where you think about the previous year and the word that defined it, and a word that you hoped would define the upcoming year. So I told Brian this. We were driving to the desert, and he had written a word down and put it in his pocket, what he wanted to use as his word for 2009. And as we were driving, I was just thinking about wine, I guess, and I said, you know what? We need a wine called Wisdom. I mean, to me, it made perfect sense. Be wise, wisdom. And then the next day, we're doing our New Year's Eve dinner, and it came Brian's turn to say what his word for 2009 was, and he pulled out the word from his pocket, and it was wisdom. So it was synchronicity, I guess, or just it was meant to be. Wisdom being a blend of all our good wines mixed together, that was a journey of understanding the niche that we didn't have fulfilled. And that was wisdom in and of itself. Just recognizing that what we really wanted was a wine for everybody. Wisdom is sort of, as my friends put it, a daily drinkable. And that's sort of how it evolved. It became a wine for everybody. And that's what we were trying to achieve. I started with the picture of the Buddha chosen. And then I would just, whichever quote really resonated with me at the time. So whenever I would find one that had wisdom in it and it would fit in one line, I'd make a note of it. I honestly can't tell you how that happened. I saw a different Buddha and I just thought, oh, I really like that. I wonder how that would be on a label. And so I had our graphic artist put it together, and I just really liked the way it looked. I had a marketing expert tell me, well, whatever you do for the wisdom label, just make sure you don't change the picture and you don't change the quote. And I thought, well, why couldn't we change it every year? I mean, who put the rules down and said you're not allowed to do that? So then it became a quest, sort of, to find the next label, the next Buddha. So I've grown to appreciate what it entails, and that's part of the fun. Well, It is fun. Wine, I think, as anybody who creates wine will tell you, it is an expression of the land, just from the get-go. It's the sloping hills and the terroir, the dirt and the weather and the way the sun lies on the vines and how much wind you get and how much heat you get and how much rain you get, and it's endless. For me, the land aspect of the wine is the beauty that I see every day on my walks up the hill with my dog. And we go up to the very highest peak of our vineyard, and I just look out on the valley and the gorgeous hills full of vineyards that turn colors in the fall and fall off in the winter and are verdant and gorgeous in the spring. It's a rhythm. It's a rhythm of the land. And they go through their journey of going into the vats and then the barrels, and then they're tasted and blended and caressed until they become this amazing bottle of wine. It's this ongoing labor of love that when that little bottle of wine that you finally get on your dinner table and you get to pop that cork and smell it and put it in your glass and appreciate it and taste it, that's what winemaking is all about. I think wisdom is really listening to that inner voice that we all have, the quiet that allows you to listen to what the universe is trying to tell you, that thing that you already know, really, if you're just quiet enough to tune into it. And I think we all have it. I think we all have it. We just have to tap into it.